Hi there. I'm truly glad you're here today because if you've ever found yourself feeling just a little weaker than you once were, or if everyday movements have started to feel more like challenges than second nature, then what we're about to explore together may be exactly what you need to hear. Now, let me ask you something that might sound a little strange at first. What if I told you that your muscles might be fading away quietly, without warning signs and without pain, not from overuse or from injury, but little by little, while you're resting, while you're watching TV, and yes, even while you sleep? You see, you probably remember the days when getting out of bed required no thought at all, when your legs supported you effortlessly, when you stood tall, moved freely, and sat down or stood up without ever thinking twice. But now, perhaps you've noticed that even the couch feels deeper, that your knees hesitate, that the floor seems just a little farther away than it used to be. You may have chalked it up to aging, and in part that's true, but there's more to the story. Because for millions of older adults, something far more serious is happening beneath the surface. Something that slowly strips away independence, balance, and confidence. And yet almost no one talks about it until it's already taken hold. This is the story of muscle loss and aging, and more importantly, the reversible path out of it. In the next few minutes, we're going to look at what really causes your body to lose strength over time, what most people are doing wrong even when they believe they're eating well, and how a few small intentional changes done daily can restore not only muscle, but the freedom to move through life with strength and ease again. So please stay with me until the end because I'll be sharing the one mistake even health conscious seniors are making that's quietly accelerating muscle loss. Once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. And the solution is much simpler than you think. What's really happening inside your body? Now, I want you to picture something with me. Imagine your body as a massive, beautifully designed factory, not made of bricks and steel, but of tissue and cells, a living, breathing production center built to keep you strong, mobile, and independent. Inside this factory, your muscles are the main product, and every part of your body, from hormones to nerves to nutrients, works together like specialized departments to keep that production line running smoothly. But here's what happens over time. Around the age of 60, sometimes even earlier, the factory starts slowing down. Not because you did anything wrong, but because of a natural process called sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle mass, strength, and function that comes with aging. Think of it like a warehouse where the lights are shutting off one room at a time. First, it's the small storage areas, the quick response muscles you use to get up from a chair. Then the loading docks start to slow. Movements like climbing stairs or carrying groceries feel a little heavier. Eventually, even core areas that once worked without question begin to falter. You may not notice it right away because it's quiet. It doesn't come with alarms or flashing lights, but the signs are there. A little more fatigue after walking, a longer recovery after minor tasks, a growing hesitation to move freely. And just like that, the factory that once ran like clockwork begins to stall. But here's the good news. Just because the lights are dimming doesn't mean the power is gone. This isn't a shutdown, it's a slowdown. And even at 70 or 80 or beyond, that factory can be restarted. Its production lines restored, its strength rebuilt. Because what if I told you you could reignite that factory again, starting today, with nothing more than the right fuel? In the next section, we're going to talk about why protein alone isn't enough. And the one thing your muscles are starving for that's been missing from your plate. Protein isn't enough. For decades, we've been told a simple truth. Eat more protein to protect your muscles. And while that advice isn't wrong, it's also not the full picture. And for older adults, it can be dangerously incomplete. Because here's the truth. Not all protein is created equal, and more importantly, not all bodies use it the same way. You see, when we're young, the body is incredibly responsive. You eat protein, your muscles absorb it, and growth or maintenance happens with very little resistance. But as we age, something changes at a cellular level. Your muscles become less sensitive to those same signals. This phenomenon is called anabolic resistance, and it's one of the biggest reasons older adults continue to lose muscle even if they're eating enough protein. And that's where leucine comes in, a specific amino acid found in high protein foods like lean beef, eggs, and whey that plays a unique role in activating the mTOR pathway, the body's internal signal to build and repair muscle tissue. Without enough leucine, it's like pressing a doorbell with no sound, but the body simply doesn't respond. But there's another layer most people overlook. To use protein effectively, your body also needs good insulin sensitivity, the ability to move nutrients into your cells efficiently. Unfortunately, as we age, especially if we've dealt with blood sugar swings, inactivity, or inflammation, our insulin response weakens. That means even if you're eating high-quality protein, your muscles may not be receiving the message to grow. In other words, you could be doing everything right, having a piece of chicken, sipping on a shake, sticking to your meals, and still watching your strength slip away. And that's not your fault. That's your biology adapting to age and waiting for you to respond with a smarter strategy. Because when you focus not just on quantity, but on the quality and timing of your nutrients, when you understand the power of leucine, and when you support your body's insulin function, the results can be remarkable, even at 75, even at 85. So if you're eating protein but still losing strength, something else is missing. Coming up next, we're going to imagine a conversation inside your body where your muscles, heart, and liver finally get to say what they've been trying to tell you all along. A conversation between your heart, liver, and muscles. Let's step into a moment of imagination. What if your body could talk, not just through symptoms or lab results, but in actual words? Imagine sitting in a quiet room across from three of your most loyal, hard-working organs: your heart, your liver, and your muscles. You've known them all your life, but today, for the first time, you're hearing what they've been trying to say. The heart speaks first. Its voice is steady but tired, like someone who's been carrying more weight than they should. "I'm doing my best," it says. "Every beat is for you. But with less strength in your legs and arms, I'm carrying the load alone. When your muscles weaken, I lose one of my best allies. I pump harder, I strain more, and over time, that takes a toll." Then the liver leans forward. It looks overworked, surrounded by signals and stress it never used to have. "I'm struggling," it says gently. "I want to help. I'm trying to convert nutrients into clean, usable energy. But the processed foods, the sugar swings, the missed meals, they make it harder. My systems are gummed up. I'm doing what I can, but I need the right tools." And then, sitting quietly at first, your muscles finally speak, and their voice catches you by surprise. It's not angry, it's hurt. "I'm shrinking," it says. "Not because I want to, because I have to. I'm calling for help. In every stair you avoid, every item you struggle to lift, every moment you feel unsteady, you just don't hear me." The room goes still because you realize this isn't about vanity. This is about function, freedom, life. And then something shifts. The conversation turns to hope, because there's one food, just one, that started changing the way they work together again. A food that made the liver more efficient, the heart more supported, and the muscles finally heard. But there's one food that made them all speak louder. And it might surprise you. In the next section, we're going to explore exactly what that food is and why you might have walked past it 100 times without knowing what it could do for you. The overlooked food that quietly rescues your muscles. Let me ask you something simple but powerful. Why are Japanese elders still strong at 90? And what's on their breakfast plate? In Okinawa, Japan, one of the world's most well-known blue zones where people routinely live past 100 with remarkable strength and independence. It's not protein shakes or fancy supplements that fuel their bodies. It's something much simpler. Something most people in the West either overlook or avoid altogether. Fermented soy. In particular, a sticky, humble food called natto. At first glance, natto doesn't look like a miracle. Its smell is strong. Its texture is unusual. But inside this strange little dish lies one of the most powerful muscle-preserving tools nature ever created. And here's why. As we age, our bodies face two major obstacles to maintaining muscle. We absorb nutrients less efficiently, especially amino acids. We live with more inflammation, which blocks the very systems that build muscle. Fermented soy solves both problems, naturally. Unlike regular tofu or unfermented soy products, natto contains enzymes and beneficial bacteria that actually improve your gut's ability to absorb protein, including leucine, the amino acid responsible for muscle growth. That means the protein you do eat becomes more effective, more available, and more usable by your body. But there's more. Natto is also rich in vitamin K2, a nutrient most people have never heard of, but that plays a major role in reducing inflammation, supporting vascular health, and even improving calcium transport, which protects bones and muscles from age-related decline. It's not flashy, it's not trendy, and yet it's been quietly fueling strong, agile bodies for generations. You don't have to love natto, but you can learn from the wisdom behind it. Fermented foods like natto, miso, tempeh, or even probiotic-rich sauerkraut can play a powerful role in helping your body use protein better, recover faster, and build strength that actually lasts. Because in the end, the secret isn't just in the food itself. It's not just about what you eat, it's how your body uses it. In the next section, we'll explore why some healthy habits, like low-fat diets or skipping breakfast, might actually be pushing your muscles in the wrong direction. The backfiring diet, when healthy habits do more harm than good. Let's meet two people, both in their 70s, both committed to eating healthy, and both convinced they're doing the right thing for their bodies. The first, Margaret, starts her day with a veggie scramble, 2 eggs with spinach and mushrooms cooked in canola oil. For lunch, she makes a turkey sandwich on whole grain bread with low-fat cheese and skips dessert. Dinner is baked chicken breast with steamed broccoli and a small baked potato. She drinks plenty of water, avoids salt, and never adds butter. The second, George, begins with a boiled egg and a spoon of Greek yogurt sprinkled with turmeric and black pepper. For lunch, he has wild-caught salmon over a bed of leafy greens with olive oil and lemon. Dinner is a lentil stew with sautéed kale cooked in extra virgin olive oil. He adds a handful of pumpkin seeds and takes a short walk after meals. Both eat clean. Both avoid junk food. But only one of them is actually supporting long-term muscle health. So what's the difference? Margaret is doing what many of us were taught. Go low-fat, avoid salt, cook with neutral oils, and keep things simple. But canola oil and vegetable oil, despite the marketing, are highly processed seed oils that increase inflammation, especially in aging joints and muscles. On top of that, her low-fat diet strips away fat-soluble vitamins like D and K, the very nutrients needed to help her body absorb calcium, magnesium, and protein effectively. Meanwhile, George is fueling absorption, not just intake. The turmeric in his yogurt fights inflammation. The black pepper increases bioavailability. His olive oil provides antioxidants and supports hormone health. And that walk after meals, it gently boosts insulin sensitivity, improving how nutrients reach the muscle cells. George isn't eating more, he's eating smarter, because nutrition isn't just about the ingredients you choose. It's about when you eat them, how you prepare them, and what partners you give them to work with inside your body. So while both are eating healthy, only one is truly nourishing muscle, protecting energy, and aging with strength. Eating healthy doesn't always mean eating smart. Next, we'll break down what an ideal day of eating actually looks like, not just for health, but for preserving strength, stability, and independence as the years go on. What to eat in a day to preserve every muscle fiber. Let's get practical for a moment. You now know that muscle loss isn't just about what you eat. It's about how your body absorbs, utilizes, and responds to food across the day. So the question becomes, how can we time our meals to support strength, stability, and energy, even in our 60s, 70s, or 80s? Let's walk through a day. Not just any day, but a day designed to help you preserve every muscle fiber you've worked hard for. 7 o'clock a.m. The morning activation meal. This is your golden window, when your body is most insulin sensitive and when muscle cells are most ready to accept fuel. Start with a fast-absorbing protein, like a hard-boiled egg or a scoop of whey protein blended with unsweetened almond milk and half a banana. Add a pinch of turmeric and a few chia seeds for gut support and anti-inflammatory power. The goal here isn't volume, it's activation. You're telling your body, I'm ready to rebuild. This meal breaks the overnight fast, kickstarts protein synthesis, and helps your metabolism burn cleaner throughout the day. 12 o'clock p.m. The longevity lunch. Midday is when your body wants something heartier. This is your chance to combine healthy fats, leafy greens, and protein into a deeply nourishing plate. Picture this: a small piece of wild salmon drizzled with extra virgin olive oil, served alongside steamed kale, roasted sweet potato, and a few slices of avocado. You can add lentils or chickpeas if you prefer plant-based. Finish with a tall glass of water and a 10-minute walk. This is the meal that feeds your mitochondria, supports hormone health, and keeps your muscles insulin sensitive, so future nutrients go where they belong. 7 o'clock p.m. The gentle overnight rebuilder. While many people skip dinner or eat light, this evening meal is critical for seniors who want to avoid overnight muscle breakdown. A bowl of plain Greek yogurt topped with a handful of walnuts, a sprinkle of ground flaxseed, and a few berries provides slow-release protein, healthy fats, and prebiotics that support overnight recovery. This meal works while you sleep, supplying your body with the amino acids and minerals it needs to maintain muscle through the fasting hours. Each of these meals is small, simple, and tailored to work with your body's rhythms, not against them. Because food isn't just fuel, it's information. And when timed right, it tells your body to rebuild instead of decline, to hold on to strength instead of let it slip away. One well-timed meal could be worth more than 3 scattered ones. In the next section, we'll meet someone who thought they couldn't build muscle anymore until they stopped trying to work out and started moving with intention instead. What if you don't go to the gym? Not long ago, I received an email from a viewer that I haven't stopped thinking about, and it read, I'm 78 years old, and I can't lift weights like I used to. My joints hurt, I get tired fast, and I don't feel safe walking into a gym anymore. Does that mean I'm doomed to lose my muscles no matter what? That message stopped me in my tracks, and not because it was unusual, but because it's something so many seniors feel, and so few actually say out loud. So let me say this as clearly as I can. No, you are not doomed. In fact, the real solution may be closer than you think. The truth is, you don't have to lift weights to stimulate your muscles. What your body really needs is activation. And that can come from simple, low-impact movements done consistently and with intention. Let me show you what that can look like. After meals, instead of sitting for an hour, Try a 10-minute slow walk around your home or yard. This gentle motion aids digestion, reduces insulin spikes, and sends a clear signal to your muscles. I'm still using you. Every 30 to 45 minutes, make it a point to stand up and sit down, even if it's just 1 or 2 repetitions. This brief act engages large muscle groups, activates circulation, and counters the dangers of prolonged sitting, which accelerates muscle breakdown in older adults more than we realize. And then there's one of the simplest but most overlooked techniques of all: isometric holds. That means tightening your thigh muscles for 10 seconds while sitting, or pressing your palms together firmly at chest height. These small pulses stimulate tension, increase blood flow, and preserve neuromuscular connection. And even without movement, these aren't workouts in the traditional sense. They're micro signals to your body that say, I still need this strength. Don't let it go. And when done daily, these simple signals compound. They support better balance, help you walk more confidently, and most importantly, they keep your independence within reach. Because it turns out the best workout for your muscles might be hidden in your daily routine. Not in a gym, but in the choices you make every day. One step, one breath, one intentional movement at a time. Coming up next, we'll talk about the subtle early signs of muscle loss and why noticing them now could add years of strength to your life. 3 signs you're losing muscle and don't even know it. Muscle loss doesn't always begin with a fall or a broken hip. In fact, it often starts quietly. With changes so subtle, most people brush them off as just getting older. But the truth is, your body is always sending signals. And the earlier you listen, the more time you have to take action. Here are 3 signs that your muscles may already be weakening, even if you feel fine today. 1, you no longer feel hungry in the morning. That quiet lack of appetite. It's not just normal aging. It can be a sign that your metabolic rate is slowing down and your muscle tissue is shrinking. Muscles are metabolically active. They burn energy even when you're resting. As they decline, so does your hunger signal. Skipping breakfast then creates a cycle. Less food, less protein, more loss. 2, sitting down is easier than standing up. This is one of the most underrated red flags. If you find yourself reaching for the armrest, rocking forward, or hesitating before standing, your quadriceps and core strength are diminishing. These muscles are crucial for balance, posture, and preventing falls. Losing them means losing confidence with every step. 3, bruises take longer to heal. If a small bump leaves a mark that lingers for weeks, your tissue repair process may be slowing, often due to poor protein absorption or reduced muscle density protecting your blood vessels. It's your body's way of saying, my recovery tools are running low. None of these signs mean it's too late. In fact, recognizing them early is a powerful gift, because by noticing these quiet shifts now, not next year, you could give yourself a 5-year head start on strength, stability, and independence. Next, we'll bring everything together in one final important question, not just about muscle, but about the kind of life you want to lead. Proactive or dependent? Which path will you choose? If you've made it this far, you already know that this conversation has never really been about food or fitness or supplements. It's about freedom, because when you protect your muscles, you're not just protecting your arms and legs. You're protecting your independence, your confidence, your posture, your freedom to move, and perhaps most importantly, your self-respect. You're preserving your ability to rise without asking for help, to walk into a room without hesitation, to carry groceries, lift grandchildren, and stand tall with strength that isn't just physical, but deeply personal. This journey is not about turning back the clock. It's not about getting younger. It's about staying capable, your way, your terms. So if today's video gave you even one helpful insight, one new way to care for yourself or someone you love, do something simple but powerful. Click like. Share this video with someone who needs it, and remember, one small step today could mean standing tall tomorrow, because every muscle you save saves a piece of your freedom, and that is always worth fighting for.